Pao Fernandez Garrido is in España, and she is part of the World Fish Migration Foundation, knows lots about dams, river restoration, fish, and things like that. And she has been giving me a bit of an education lately. Welcome back.
Thank you. Thank you, Alan.
Now,
nice to be here.
When I was a kid, I used to watch these nature documentaries, you know, and a salmon was leaping up to get up the river. And that's about all I know, other than the fact that there was always an industrialist who said, well, we're going to build a fish ladder or a fish passageway so the fish can get around the dam and everything will be fine. But then I started reading up on this and everything is not fine. So let's talk about fish ladders a bit. What are the different kinds of them to begin with? Because there's so many different terms, fish passageways, fish elevators. Just give us fish passageways 101, please.
Okay, so I like to call them fishways, but also people call them fish passage, others fish ladders. So you can call them three ways. I like to say fishways, not fish passage, because if you say fish passage means that they are going to pass yes or yes. And as you just said, it's not like that. It's more complicated. Then a fishway can be, you can divide it in two groups, okay? Natural fishways and technical fishways. In natural fishways, you have three types. You can have a ramp. So if you have a little dam, a weir, a little dam, you can put a ramp. So with rocks and then you can also do like artificial channel that goes around.
Yeah, Pao, you're imitating fish climbing up, and they don't really have little legs. I know you know that. But how steep an incline can they swim up?
Okay, wait. Let's go little by little, because this is natural fishways. Then you have artificial fishways, which are usually made with concrete, and you have like different pools, right? And they can go through a little hole from pool to pool, or they can jump from pool to pool. It's like a escalator, like steps, right? You can have also elevators in very, very tall dams. You can have elevators. You can even have, I don't know the name in English, but you know, like a cage that they get trapped, and they go in a cable. They go around to the other side. I'm sorry, I forgot the name in English.
No, so literally picking them up and carrying them mechanically across the dam. Sure. Exactly.
So you have artificial and natural fishways. So it depends. Oh, and sorry. And in artificial fishways, you also have two that are called denil. Denil are like planks, like it's very strange, but they can be very steep, and they are done with steel or wood. And there's like a big V where they can go through, and there's a lot of turbulence inside. Anyway, but there are a few. So for you,
let me add what little I know, that the fish, you know, we should have known, but the fish can actually get tired trying to swim up this, and that denil or the chevron is a place where they can go, you know, rest up, and it slows the water down, regulates the flow of water, right?
Exactly. But in fishways, as you said, it's not the panacea. It's not the, we put a fishway and everything is solved. No. When you build a fishway, first you have to build a fishway completely, you say tailor-made, like made just for that weir. You cannot just copy-paste. And that has been done in the past, at least in Europe. Oh, they put this fishway, okay, we're going to do the same one. No, wrong. No, because each river has a different slope, each river has a different flow, each river has different species with different capabilities. So you have to make it very tailored, only for that, you know, just made for that weir, for that. And then when you make a fishway, you have three big challenges. First, that the fish finds the entrance, because they don't have signals to read. Oh, go this way, you know, go this way. It's in the left side of the river. They have to feel that traction. So if you have flow over the weir, you have the flow over the weir attraction, and then the flow going out the fishway. You have two attractions, and the fish can miss the entrance, okay? So first has to find the entrance of the fishway. Imagine in a big river, how difficult is that? And then it has to want to be able to enter, because if it's not well designed, maybe the flow is too strong that it won't be able to enter, you know, or maybe only the strongest fish will be able to enter and not the weak ones, okay, the little ones. And then once it's inside, as you just said, you have to be able to give a nice passage so the fish doesn't get stressed and doesn't get exhausted and doesn't take forever. Imagine there are some fishways where the fish can be days, and that's terrible, because fish, when they are going to reproduce, they have like a time clock, you know, counting down, a countdown. And it cannot lose time inside a fishway for days, because then it won't come in the perfect day to spawn, you know? So you have three challenges. It's very difficult to design a really good fishway. Very difficult.
Well, Pao, I've also understood that the fish can get injured there, either because they're crowded and bump into each other and get bruised, or their scales
totally
fall, or
yes.
a rough piece of concrete, a rough piece of wood, and they can be traumatized, and we're doing as much harm as good, maybe.
You are right. You are right. So imagine if you design the hydraulics, okay, the water, how fast it goes inside, how much turbulence. Imagine like a washing machine. If your fishway, you design it wrong and you design like a washing machine, imagine putting yourself in a washing machine, right? You get there and then you start hitting yourself and you finish injured, you know? So it can happen. You're right. And of course, if it's made of concrete, and if it's not smooth surface, it can get harm. It's very true. So also the materials are important, but of course the hydraulics, how fast it goes the water, is very important. And if the fishway is very long, which is bad that it's long, but sometimes the dams are big. So if it's big, you have much more height to save. So you need to make it longer. Then you need to put resting places so they can rest, you know, for a little bit and then jump and go swimming up again, you know, but it's complicated.
How would you have a guess about how effective fishways in general are? Like, do 20, 30, 50, 80% of the fish get through? Any idea?
All the fishways that are now built in the world, you mean?
Yes.
Okay, I'll tell you, that's impossible to know, because that really depends on the knowledge of the country, you know, on building fishways. I can tell you a comparison. For example, USA, they built pretty good fishways. They had really good designers back in the 50s and 60s. They have really good engineers, and their fishways are pretty good. And when you have an efficiency, you know, when you have an efficiency of 60, 70, 80%, wow, it's just already amazing. But for example, the little number of fishways that were built in Spain back in, you know, whatever, 30 years ago, 40 years ago, I can tell you, I would say maybe 1% works or less. They're terrible. They are just made, they are made for dinosaurs. They are not made for fish.
And so you're saying that 1% of the fish could get through?
No. 1% of the fishways in total in Spain works well. So I'm telling you, like, maybe only the ones that were built 40 years ago, maybe only 2 works well, or 3 out of all the ones that we have.